Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, here to react to the Raptors' 108-105 win against the Houston Rockets. That was the biggest win of the season, without a doubt. Houston Rockets had the best record in the league coming into this game. They're now tied with Golden State. We ended a 17-game winning streak. A 17-game winning streak from Houston, gone. Raptors just love snapping the Houston Rockets winning streaks because we got their numbers. I'm just so excited right now. They had no chance. The Rockets had no chance. The Raptors are just too good. No OG, no DeLon. Still no chance for Houston. We'll get right into it. We'll start with the guy that absolutely owned Houston tonight, Kyle Lowry. 30 points for Lowry, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. 7 and 9 from 3. Kyle Lowry, best game of the season from Kyle Lowry, in my opinion. He brought, whenever we needed a shot, whenever we needed something to get us going, Kyle Lowry was there to hit the big shots. It felt like he didn't miss. He was setting up guys. He was running the show on offense. Even though he didn't have like a huge assist number, if he was just, everything ran through Lowry. And this is the Kyle Lowry we're hoping for in the playoffs. This is what we need. I think we're going to get it because he's been rested all year. He's not expending himself playing 40 minutes a game against the Atlanta Hawks or something like that. He's out here balling out in short, condensed minutes, and when we need him, when we need Kyle Lowry, he shows up, and he showed up tonight. Shout out to K-Low. Kyle Lowry, you're the best. You're my favorite. That was so good. So good. DeMar DeRozan, he also had a phenomenal game tonight. He really took over the game down the stretch for the Raptors. 23 points, 7 rebounds. And the thing about DeMar's game tonight, he hit that mean clutch fadeaway at the end. But his defense in the last 2 minutes of the game, and I know DeMar DeRozan's not really known for his defensive game. He's not known as a lockdown defender. But, man, he played this one possession on Harden. Harden was doing his crazy little cross step between the legs moves that he does to shake people. And James Harden was amazing tonight. We'll talk about him later. But DeMar DeRozan stayed with him. James Harden tried to do a step back. DeMar read him like a book and forced the turnover. And he had this insane clutch rebound down the stretch. Shout out to DeMar. Shout out to our backcourt. The Raptors backcourt owned what a lot of people say is the best backcourt in the NBA, Chris Paul and James Harden. They were just phenomenal. Just round of applause for our backcourt. Just so good. And we'll keep it with the starters. Jonas tonight, 14 points, 10 rebounds. He really started off the game playing really well. The first quarter, Jonas was feeding it down low. The key was Lithuania tonight, and he protected it. He said whenever anyone came in there, the Raptors had a really good game plan, especially with what they had doing to Jonas, because everyone knows Mike D'Antoni teams do not shoot mid-range jump shots. It's not in their repertoire. Even though Chris Paul and James Harden are good mid-range shooters, they just don't shoot them under Mike D'Antoni, and it's obviously been working this season. But Dwayne Casey, being the coach of the year that he is, he just told Jonas, stay back in the paint. They're not going to shoot it from the mid-range. Right? Stay back. Don't let them throw the lob to Capella. They come in the paint, D up, and it worked. It worked for most of the game. Honestly, the only time Houston went on some runs was really, obviously Houston's going to score in the pick and roll a bit, but when they were really making the runs, it was James Harden step back contested threes. And you know what? If we lose to James Harden hitting the step back contested threes, it was over. Like, there's nothing we can do. But we contained him, even though we didn't really contain him, but we did the best we could. And I really like James Harden. Shout out to James Harden. He had 40 points tonight, 4 assists. Really, really good player, but no match for the Toronto Raptors tonight, despite that 40-point outing. And I don't know, there's a stretch during the game, especially in the second half. You knew the Raptors had a big lead going into the half, but you knew the Houston Rockets were going to come back. They're known for coming back, and they made the run as expected. They kind of threw a haymaker to start the half, and it looked a bit shaky there for the Toronto Raptors for a little bit. But then to start the fourth, the bench mob, oh my goodness. They didn't have crazy numbers tonight. No one really, jumped out the box score at you, but just when they play as a unit, their defense is ridiculous. The Raptors, anyone that's been watching the team for a long period of time knows that the Raptors have had historically, when they're struggling, they like to shoot their way out of it, taking tough shots, and the ball stagnates a little bit, and that kind of happened in the third quarter a little bit. When the bench mob is out there, none of that. None of it. And even if the shots aren't going in, the basketball just looks so much better. And then when you insert Lowry and DeMar back into it, they start playing that much better basketball. And the offense just looks so good. And the guy at the helm for that is Fred VanVleet. His shooting percentages haven't been super great as of late, but it does not matter. 11 points, 5 assists from Fred. And like Lowry, whenever we needed that shot, the shot that we needed, the shot went in when Fred took it. He was ready to take it. It didn't matter that Chris Paul was guarding. Chris Paul who? NBA Hall of Famer who? No. No match for Fred VanVleet. There was a possession. Fred just absolutely shook that man. I tweeted about it. It was really nice, but oh my goodness. Fred just, and he's not even shooting that great, but the team runs so smoothly with Fred at the helm, especially with Lowry. When him and Lowry are on the court, it's absolutely dynamic. CJ Miles hit a couple key threes. Pascal Siakam only had 2 points, but I don't know, his impact on the defensive end is just, everyone knows Pascal. Energy, just a giant bag of energy. He's like Santa Claus, and he's got a giant endless bag of energy in his giant red bag. That's my only analogy. That's my in-depth basketball analysis on Pascal Siakam. And out of nowhere, maybe not out of nowhere, but Malcolm Miller shot 100% from the field tonight, and for about a 30-second stretch, he looked like Kevin Durant out there. He had 7 points, 3 of 3 from the field, 1 3. Just Malcolm Miller doesn't do anything too bad. Doesn't do anything wrong. Hit his open shots tonight. I really like it. I think he could be a really good player for the Toronto Raptors going forward. But oh my goodness, that was just an amazing win. If you didn't watch it, I know I'm spoiling the game for you, but I recommend watching it. It was super exciting. The Toronto Raptors are a top team in the NBA. They're one of the best. They're the best. They're winning the chip. This was a finals preview. Raptors sweep in the finals. And that's all I have to say. I know I'm hyperbolizing, maybe not. But I'm just so excited right now. We'll talk about Norman Powell before we get in the segments. He kind of, on offense, he played really well against Detroit the other night. But he offensively tonight, he wasn't there. 0 for 5 from 3, only 2 points, some sketchy mid-range putback jumper, but he didn't force anything, which was good. Obviously, you want to see Norman Powell hit those open threes. That's something that we really need out of the small forward position. But he wasn't forcing his game. He wasn't doing anything stupid. And even though James Harden put in 40 points, Norman Powell's defense was really good. He was always there. You're not going to keep James Harden in front of you on single man coverage, but Norm did the best he could. He's athletic. He has those long arms. But obviously James Harden's going to hit ridiculous shots. James Harden's MVP of the NBA this season. So it's nice to see that the Raptors could get this win. Oh my goodness. It was so good. We'll get right into the segments. The play of the day tonight has to go to the whole Toronto Raptors team at the end of the game, locking down in the last minute, 30 seconds, playing absolutely ridiculous defense. It was a sight to be seen. I still can't believe DeMar DeRozan on that defensive stand. We all know DeMar is our top player right now this season, but not really known for his defensive stands. But you look at it, you see James Harden, you go, Same way Rockets fans go when James Harden's guarding DeMar. But DeMar locked down. He turned into Bismack Biyombo out there. He was playing good D, and that I know it's not the most flashy play, and you can go with his fadeaways or the free throws at the end, but that's my play of the day. But not all plays can be the play of the day, and some just make you say, "Oh geez." And we have 2 OGs play of the day today. The first one's kind of memey, but Trevor Ariza, the very start of the game, went in for this obscure layup, threw it up, didn't even hit the rim, and then caught it and got to travel. So that was pretty funny, not gonna lie. It made me say OGs watching as a Raptors fan, even though I'm not a Rockets fan, but it still made me say OGs. But the one that really had me at the TV screaming OGs was the Raptors just had that awesome defensive stand. They got the loose ball foul. They hit the free throws. We're up by 4. Lowry clutch down the stretch hitting those free throws. And Eric Gordon from, it felt like 8 kilometers behind the 3-point line, hits a nice step back 3 over Fred. That made me say, oh geez. That hurt my soul, but didn't matter. Didn't matter for the Toronto Raptors. JV coming up clutch with more free throws. James Harden couldn't hit a half-court shot over Pascal Siakam. So didn't matter, but it still made me say, oh geez. And the DeMar Carroll, the infamous DeMar Carroll Gold Star Award tonight it's a dubious award for the worst part of the game. And it's going to who else than DeMar Carroll's backup last season, PJ Tucker. I liked him as a Raptor. You know, he brought energy, defense, the hustle. But that man's is just an all-out. He was being a meme tonight. That's the only way I can put it without cussing this man out. But he was hitting every chance he could. He was throwing his shoulder into Kyle Lowry, almost looking like Zaza Pachulia out there trying to injure people. That's the vibes I got. He was, I don't know. I don't like people hitting Kyle Lowry. Just didn't get good vibes from PJ Tucker tonight. He left us in the offseason. We were offering him more money than Houston did, but no, he still decides to leave, and more money per year. Still decided to leave. You're getting the DeMar Carroll Gold Star tonight, PJ Tucker. Wasn't happy with your return to the 6. Anyways, that's it from me. Solo pod here tonight. I'm still overwhelmed by how great that game was. And the Toronto Raptors they're a legitimate team. If you can't take them seriously after this, I don't know what it's going to take. It's going to take us to have that championship over our head if this doesn't sway you. But that's how it goes. DeMar was great. Kyle Lowry, the best. The bench mob. I'm going to name my kid Bench Mob because the Bench Mob is amazing. Yeah, that's right. Bench Mob Rogers. That's the name. And Fred's the dad. Fred's the dad and the grandpa. I don't even know. Fred's everyone's dad. This is getting weird, but I'm so happy. I keep saying it. I'll stop before I get a bit wild, too wild with the banter. You made it this far. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the Raptors Digest. Check out our Twitter. We get the Insta on the go, so check that out. We're getting that started. We started a little bit over the summer. We started posting on that now. So, yeah. Thanks for listening, Raptors fans. Just feel good. Embrace this. What a time to be alive.